Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. I thought that during this COVID-19 self-distancing period that we're going through right now, I would upload a couple of videos about some health tips or stretches that I know that could help you, that you could do at home. So the first set that I'm going to show you are called the Meridian stretches. They're a very basic form of stretch that I learned in my Shiatsu program several years ago, and you can follow along with me. The idea is that when we stretch the meridian, or the channel pathway that the energy flows in, we can kind of feel areas of tension or areas of weakness, and it just gives you a greater sense and understanding of your own body. So I'll begin with lung, which is the first one. So you can follow them with me. So for the lung meridian stretch, we clasp our hands, but we do it behind our back. So it's like this. Our feet are a little more than hip distance apart. We take a deep breath, open up our lungs, and then bend full forward. Let's take another deep breath in, and then exhale. Then we do that again. I like to switch my thumb, so the other thumb is on top. I'll do it again. Deep breath in, open. Breathe in through your nose, not your mouth. And exhale, fold forward. Deep breath in. And exhale and come up. So we should feel this one across our chest and in our arms and the front of our shoulders. And this is the lung pathway. It goes right here. The next one is the stomach and spleen. So we go on our knees in a seiza position or kneeling position, and we lean back. So your flexibility, it will depend on your flexibility and your level of comfort. So definitely only do this to the point where you feel a stretch, and if it's pinching or hurting in any way, it's too much. You might need some props or bolsters or things to help you so you can really stay in the stretch. So we start for stomach and spleen, we start on our knees, and if this on your elbows is enough of a stretch, then stay there. You can also go all the way back. Put your arms back. You're trying to keep your legs somewhat parallel and together, so they're not folding out like this together. And then to come out, you just roll on your side. Stomach pathway. Stomach pathway goes from the face, but it goes all the way down and just on the outside of the fronts of our legs. So a modified version of that is just like camel pose in yoga. So it's on your knees and you reach back to grab your heels, or a chair. Grab your heels and see the stretch. It's stretching me. I'm tight in my legs, so it's mostly stretching me here. The next one is the heart and small intestine. The heart and small intestine, we sit with our feet together. It doesn't have to be super close. We're not trying to stretch these muscles, so sit comfortably with your feet together. You want your pinkies to touch or close to touch. And the heart meridian is on the underside, so it will be there. And the small intestine's on the opposite side. So we're kind of stretching the tops of our shoulders, like opening up your underarms. So a deep breath in and exhale. Everyone's different. Where you feel tension in your body will be different from where I feel tension in my body. This is one that I've never been able to feel in any of my upper body, but I do feel it in my legs when I stretch like this. So just notice where you feel these stretches. So heart and small intestine. And then there's kidney, bladder. So from here, you just straighten your legs. Keep your feet flexed. And it's a forward fold. You're not trying to get your nose to your, you're not trying to fold here at your hips. You're trying to extend the back. So the bladder meridian starts here and it goes over our head, along our spine, and down the backs of our legs. So we're trying to stretch the back body. And I like to just tell my clients to walk their fingers down and arch your back. You might want to think about getting your forehead, like there's an imaginary line pulling your forehead to your knees. So you have an arch. Again, depending on where you're tight, you'll feel it in different spots. If you're really tight, this will be uncomfortable for you, and it might be enough of a stretch already. In cases like that, I tell people to use a wall just to keep their feet flat. That might be already enough of a stretch. You can walk your hands forward or bend a little bit. And just hang out there for a minute. The next stretch is for the triple heater and heart constrictor. It's a fun one. So we cross our legs and then notice which leg crossed on top. So my right leg's on top, so my right arm is going to be on top as well. I'm going to cross my arms to grab the opposite knees, and my legs are crossed, and I'm going to fold forward. You'll feel this depending on where you're more tight. You'll feel it in your hips or your shoulders. And I like to play around with these stretches. So you fold forward, and then if you feel it stretching in one area, you might want to lean to that side or lean to the opposite side just to get into all the ooey gooey spots. So. After you do it on one side, you switch your legs. You switch your arms, and you fold forward again. And for me, I don't feel this a lot in my shoulders, so I'm going to walk my hands back once I get down. And the last one is the liver and gallbladder stretch. So this is just, you can do it both legs at the same time or one leg at a time. I like to do one leg at a time. But you put your leg out straight to the side, and it's a side bend. You should feel the stretch in a couple places. You might feel it on the inside of your leg, which is along the liver meridian. And you might feel it on the outside of your body here, which is the gallbladder meridian. And try to imagine opening up sideways instead of curling down. And you go to the other side. And just notice which side's tighter. Where do you feel the tension? Are you feeling it more in your legs or in your back? And where's that coming from? And those are the 5 meridian stretches. Enjoy. 6. There's 6 meridian stretches. I was wrong.